Guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is gonna be very special because it's on a Q&A session, and I was thinking from very long time that I should make a video on this, and today is the day. I got few questions, few suggestions from my admirers, and they really wanted me to answer their questions. So yeah, today I am here to answer your questions, your queries related to mental health. So without any delay, let's get into it straight away. Okay, so keeping in mind the confidentiality and consent, it was my duty to ask you people that should I mention your name with your question or not. So few of them gave their consent and few of them just denied, which I really respect and I understand. So the first question is by Dhanendra Mani. He asks what to do when you feel low automatically without any certain reason. Okay, Dhanendra, nice question. And I got another question which is quite similar to this one. So I'll be answering both these questions together, fine? So the same or the similar kind of question is what to do when you are mentally drained or exhausted, by Shivani. Okay, so Dhanendra and Shivani, this one's for you. So as we all know that we have ups and downs, highs and lows every day with everyone, it happens. So personally I call it as zombie days because at that moments we feel very low and we do not know what to do, very lethargic kind of state. So it happens to everyone, it happens to you, it happens to me, so it's very normal. So in this case, what you can do if you feel low, if you feel mentally drained out, exhausted, burnt out, so in that case you can do few things, which obviously it depends upon person to person. Every person has their own choices, has their own way of dealing with stress, anxiety, etc. So the basic things which I think it's a human nature and everyone likes to do is, go out for a walk, do some exercise, leave your body free. Do meditation. It is very good for your mind. You kind of get that time for yourself, you explore a lot, and at times you even like to stay shut. You do not like to take any kind of thoughts in, so remain totally blank and enjoy that blank moment also. So you can do that. Also, if you like to cook, you can cook something very delicious for yourself. Have a gala time with your friends. If you like to have a me time also, you can take alone time. You can watch movies which create that humor, that releases that good hormones in your body. You can stay happy. Even if you feel like crying, it's completely fine. At times you can vent out your emotions. It's better not to suppress it and to release it. Also, you can arrange few things at your home if you are free, like if you want to do some decoration kind of things, or if you want to give some makeover or interior to your room, you can do that as well. So do these little things, express your positivity, your negativity, express yourself as a person, what you are feeling at that time. So the main motto to stay high on happiness, to stay high on enthusiasm, to bury your all the negativity or all the laziness, is to express what you feel at the moment and not to keep it suppressed. And so that's what you can do. I hope that I answered your question quite well. So let's get to the next question then. Okay, so the next question is by Shoaib Sheikh. He asks, if I have a problem asking for approval every time for every little thing, what can I do to change it? Okay, so Shoaib, it completely depends upon you. Like, are you asking for approval from a particular person every time, or it keeps on changing with the change in situation as well? So first of all, you need to introspect and you need to give answers to your questions first. That who is it? Who is guiding you every time? Is it a particular person, or it keeps on changing? And also, till now, what all decisions you have been taking or what you will be taking in future, are they your decisions? Like, are you taking them single-handedly, or somebody else has an influencer over there? So you need to understand that as well. And if you feel that you need approval, or you need guidance at every step in your life from a particular person or from anybody for that matter, then you need to keep a reality check, and you need to check upon yourself, on your confidence, on your self-esteem. So if you are kind of getting low onto it, you need to gain back your confidence, gain back your self-esteem, and maybe from the smallest to the biggest decisions, take it yourself at least once. Give it a chance, and give it a try. In any way, if you can make a decision, and if you can, without anybody's guidance, without anybody's approval, show your point or prove your point, maybe you'll fail initially, or you don't know, maybe you'll succeed initially. So with that experience or with that learning, you can move further, and you can do a lot of things in your life. You can even modify your techniques, you can even modify your approach, and accordingly you can keep on learning from your mistakes. So the thing which I have understood from your question is that you kind of have a fear of taking decisions by yourself. That's why you go for approval. So just forget about everything, forget about success, forget about failure. Take your own decisions, what you feel like at the moment, and then according to the results, modify yourself. If you feel that it was good enough and it brought amazing results, stay on the path. But if you feel that somehow you had some negative consequences of taking that decision, modify your technique, modify your approach, and then go on with it. But yeah, take your own decisions by yourself and not with any influence. Okay, so I hope that I have answered your question well. So the next question is by Vimarsh Bhan. He asks, how do you train mind to walk on the road of perseverance? Okay, so Vimarsh, I feel that training is a very technical, a very mechanical term to say. You do not have to train your mind, you just have to keep on learning, keep on practicing anything which you are doing in your life. So with that practice, with that learning, you keep on improving, you keep on adding new things to your life, you keep on adding new experiences to your life, and with that you move on certainly. And with that, what else you can do is, because see, perseverance, as you use the term in your question, it comes with learning. What you have done in past and now what you are in present completely depends what your future is gonna be. So just learn from your past, what mistakes you have done or what loopholes were there in your past, cover it up in your present, work towards it, and definitely you're gonna see the amazing results in your future. So yeah, you need to do that. So for that, what you can do is, you need to clarify your goal in life, what you want to do. You need to achieve your goals according to your plans. So build a plan, build a timeline for yourself, what goals you want to achieve, till what time you have to achieve it. So you need to look after that as well. Also, acknowledge your accomplishments. Don't always see towards the negative perspective. See the things from a positive perspective as well. Acknowledge your accomplishments, acknowledge your goals, how you're going to achieve them. Try new experiences. What happened in the past, it's all done and dusted. Move on and work towards your experiences in the present, and it's gonna be very well for you. So yeah, work on these few parameters and you will definitely see some kind of change in your life. I hope that I answered well. Okay, so the next question is by Sahil. He asks, how to control mind? Okay, so when I read this question, like the first thing which clicked in my mind was, why you need to control your mind, or why you need to control anybody's mind for that matter. Let it flow, let it explore, and let it be on the track it is. So I don't think that you need to control anybody's mind or your mind for that matter, because see, the thoughts, the ideas which come to our mind are completely ours, are completely experience based, are completely personal, and it's engraved in us. So just follow it. And controlling, I may not use the word controlling, but yeah, I may use the word regulate. So if you think that you're losing your mind, as we say that I'm losing my mind, this means that might be you are diverted, or you are feeling uncomfortable, or when it starts irritating you from within, when your mind starts irritating you and you are not feeling well with it, then you should take few steps to regulate your mind. And you should modify your thoughts, you should modify your actions, and completely that is gonna put a lot of impact on your life. So what you can do is you can start working on your plans, what plans you are carrying, and stay away from toxicity as much as possible, be it in the social environment, be it personally. So yeah, just make a goal in your life and just focus on that, and you do not need to control anybody's mind or your mind, just let it flow. But yeah, keep a regulation, keep a check on it. So I hope that I answered that well. Okay, so the next question is by Vishal Pandita. He asks, how can I speak to and help a person suffering from mental illness like anxiety or depression? Okay, so Mr. Vishal, I really applaud your thought that you want to take this opportunity and you are talking about it. Like, nobody likes to talk about mental illness so freely, and you are talking about it and you want to help somebody who's suffering from any kind of mental illness. So I really appreciate your thought. So this shows that you have some kind of empathy in you, which is very nice. And without empathy, you cannot, do anything or help anybody for that matter. So you need to have that. Okay, so as you asked this, first of all, it depends. Like you cannot label a person completely on the basis of their emotions they are portraying, or on the basis of their actions. Maybe at that moment of life, or it's like a phase, it comes and it goes. Maybe it is that phase in that person's life that he or she is feeling sad, and maybe you are mistaken it by that he or she is suffering from depression or anxiety. So you need to keep a check on that person if you know him or her personally. So you need to keep a check that is that only for that day or for that minute, or is it like a prolonged journey he or she is facing. So minimum 6 months. Like there's a criteria if we want to label a person suffering from any kind of mental disorder or any mental discomfort, we give a time of minimum 6 months. And if that episode which the person is suffering from, sadness, anxiety, anything, if that goes on till 6 months, then we can say, okay, this person is having, then also we are not labeling completely, then also we are saying that okay, maybe the person is carrying depression symptoms, or maybe the person is carrying anxiety symptoms. But then on, we move very technically about it, and we kind of diagnose the person and start working upon that person. So you need to know that is it like it is diagnosed or not. If it is a diagnosed case, if the person is really diagnosed with anxiety or depression, then what you can do is, first of all, you need to motivate that person a lot, because the most prominent thing which is in the person's life who suffers from depression and anxiety is that there's lack of motivation, there's lack of self-confidence, self-worth. So you need to motivate that person a lot, and you need to show some kind of love and care for that person, that yeah, you are there for that person. And the most important thing is stay as a mental, physical, emotional, in whatever sense you can support that person, stay with him or her. And the most important thing, if that person is consulting a mental health professional, psychologist or a psychiatrist, motivate that person to attend his or her sessions. Do not leave it in between, because such people tend to lose patience and they leave their sessions in between, which is very harmful for them. So keep a check on that person. Is he or taking full precautions, going for the sessions, taking his or her medications, doing the given homework or therapy by the prescribed mental professional. So you need to keep all these things in mind, and you need to keep a check. So that's what you can do, and you can help that person build in confidence and come out of his or her discomforts and lead a normal life. So yeah, I hope that I answered that quite well. Okay, so the next question is by Ayush Bhatt. He asks, are drugs or therapies better for mental health condition? Okay, Ayush, look, as a mental health professional, I can say that it works wonders. It does wonders to a lot of people, but it again depends upon case to case. It depends upon the severity of a case. That does a person need a regular counseling session, or he or she needs medication, or he or she needs therapeutic approach. So it completely depends upon case to case, but yeah, it works for many people. And yeah, like you need to go through the depth, like as a mental health professional, what I can tell you is we look at the case history, how old or how fresh that case is. According to that, we begin with our approaches, we do our work, and yeah, we need to keep a lot of things in mind. So I'll not be going into that technicality thing, but yeah, I wanna, like as you asked, drugs and therapies, yeah, they work wonders for a few people. But again, like psychologists and psychiatrists see each case differently, because each individual is different and each individual has different needs. So according to that, we prescribe them therapies or counseling sessions or medication. So yeah.